Swim, bike, run, keeping it real with Garrick, Lowen, Jackson, Laundry, and Nicholas Chase. Plus everyone's favorite host, Lisa Becker-Rice. This is the Real Triathlon Podcast. Training, racing, no filter, all hard.
Welcome back to the fastest hour in triathlon. It is the Real Triathlon Podcast, but I was going through the YouTube comments and some guy made a comment and I just about pissed myself laughing. He called it the Real Injury Podcast. And
it is. Oh, yeah.
It just
Hell yeah.
seems way too appropriate. So today it's the Real Injury Podcast. But we got some great topics going on here. We spent, 10 minutes talking about Jackson's new cat here. So that's exciting. Jackson's always been anti-pet or owning a pet. And so to break through and get a cat, that is a huge leap of faith for Jackson. So, Jack, you're stuffing your face. I'm not going to come to you.
No, it's just chocolate. It's easy. Jesus.
He was just bragging about how he finished eating, finished dinner.
I'm done all the chocolate now.
Yeah. Okay.
Done.
Jack, talk to us about the new member of your family.
Yeah, so Livia has always wanted a cat. And we decided when we moved to our new place, we're going to get a cat once we're settled in and whatnot. And we've been ready for a few months, but it's just tough because weekends, all the adoption places are closed on Sundays. And then a lot of times Saturdays we have stuff going on. So this time we're just we're going this Saturday. We're going to fill out the application stuff. And we did. We got a little cat named Arlo. He was the first one we saw. We visited with 3 cats and he was Livia really wanted a very interactive cat that likes attention. Cats can go any direction, obviously. Some cats are super skittish and maybe warm up to you a little bit, but not too much. But he as soon as we went in there, he's climbing on us and purring and all that stuff. So he's been great.
So he's a
and cats are so much easier than dogs. It's insane. They think he's about 2 years old. I think he might be a little younger just based on his personality, but anyway, he's fully grown and he just fully first time goes straight to the litter box. No accidents. Hasn't ruined a single thing. Eats his food, drinks from the there's no any stress. It's pretty easy. So that's kind of nice. I really have always been more of a dog person, but I'm not gonna get a dog while I'm racing and trying to travel all the time. It's just too much with we just don't have. I just don't want to have to worry about we need to get a kennel and all that stuff. With the cats, you can leave them for a few days and apparently
you just leave a pound of food and then they're fine. They don't even need much.
Yeah, we got an automatic cat feeder and litter box, so their life's automated. So sometimes we'll leave the cats for a week and the neighbor kids will come over every couple days just to make sure they're still alive, and they just love life. They're totally fine.
That's awesome.
Is it raining where you are, Garrick?
I was going to ask you guys if you could hear that. We just crazy storm just rolled in. You might be able to see it over my shoulder here. We'll see if the tornado sirens go off, but I don't know. This is just rolled in. It was sunny when I sat down 20 minutes ago.
That's crazy. That's
well, you know what they say about Michigan weather. If you don't like it, just wait 5 minutes.
Anyways, yep, that's the news for me. And also been feeling better. Got 3 runs in now, walk runs, starting at minus 30 pounds. And then my most recent was minus 10 pounds with the lever. And the next run is going to be full body weight, at least for part of it. So that's tomorrow. That's super exciting. Haven't had any. You just have to, with this, whatever this injury is, I just have to wait until it's pain-free to run. And then I can gradually ramp it up. I can't start with a little bit of pain or it just will only get worse. So that's super exciting. And unfortunately, I am on the road to recovery, and then freaking Garrick today said he has a calf issue. And
again?
Yeah.
What?
Well,
Garrick,
they don't call it the Real Injury Podcast for no reason, guys. This time I was just running. I think so. I was at my buddy's wedding on Saturday, and I think I aggravated my calf dancing. Because that's me,
Valid reason.
You're older than me now.
Big
okay,
dancer.
you're older than me.
Yeah. It's just my calf, man. Like it just is what it is at this point. I don't know. I do think it does seem like I'm older than Nick. It does feel like it some mornings too. But it is what it is. I'm not
Jeez.
too bummed. I would have loved to do Happy Valley. Maybe, this is just a 10-dayer and it's fine, but I think it might be a little I don't know.
Mont Tremblant.
Yeah.
Tremblant.
I think you wait a week and Mont Tremblant is the perfect
Maybe
timing.
it's a sign. Maybe
Yeah,
it's a sign.
Maybe it is.
that you do.
I'll take that up with my wife. We'll see. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. I stopped getting mad about it. There's so much else.
Maybe just never
life.
go faster than 5-minute Ks and like just see how your life is.
That is
Won't be
most
that
of my
fun during
life.
the race.
Or what? Just send it during the race and risk it then.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like
okay, so
Annie
that's
won a
fair.
race when she didn't train at all for like since December. She
That
said.
was crazy. Like, I didn't want to like kind of lean into this too much, but that's like a very low training load that she did. And that's so impressive because she obviously has such a great ability to, like, a really good VO2 max, ability to push herself, and just great talent and ability to get a lot of speed out of the training that she can do. So as she gets her durability, it's going to be awesome to see, like, what she can get up to with once she can handle a little bit more training. So
She's got
That was
big
great.
upside.
yeah, for sure.
Lisa, you went for an outside run also.
I've done I've done 2 30-minute straight runs. I did like 6 walk jogs, and I'm in my straight running era. So I'll do 3 30-minute runs, then I'll move on to 3 35-minute runs, and then probably 3 40-minute runs, and then I'll like kind of up and
Send
down it stuff. And then
Jeez.
maybe hopefully have like 4 weeks of like okay training going into Mont Tremblant.
Gosh, it seems so slow. Like,
I know that you go from like, oh, I did 1 a minute, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off for 30 minutes. And then I'm not like 2 days later, you're like, I think I'm going to run an hour straight on the ground.
it progresses so quick. Like, my first one was a minute on, 2 minutes off for 30. My second run was 1:45 on, 1:15 off for 33 minutes. And then my third run was 2.5 minutes on, 30 seconds off for 40 minutes. And then the next run's going to be full body weight, but it'll be like maybe like 5 minutes on, 1 minute off or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's a bit different because it's just when a bone's just healing, like, it gets stronger, it progressively gets stronger. You've obviously got something that's a little more
I don't know
chronic
what-
and trying to like gradually work through it.
Yeah, but I think no matter the injury, like I've always done kind of like that, like a much slower approach to return to run. I don't know why. I think this is always my PT tells me to do. I'm like, sure, sounds great. Running, perfect. Like I just want to run.
I think next episode we can't talk about injuries.
I know, right?
I know. But it's the real triathlon podcast, not the bullshit
The real fake
triathlon podcast.
triathlon podcast.
How
But-
about you, Trevor Leahy? How are you doing?
Trevor Leahy in the house.
I don't know who that is.
Well-
Trailer Park Boys reference.
It's
You
a
weren't-
what?
Trailer Park Boys. So it used to be a ritual before every race, and Leslie Smith would know. You wouldn't because, you were always way too cool to come stay with us. But we'd always watch Trailer Park Boys religiously before a race. And I think that was like the most successful times of our lives.
It was so fun. And the thing is, Leslie actually loved it. Like, I don't know if she watched it before or if we introduced her to it.
I think
but
we
she
introduced
actually thought it was hilarious, or at least she pretended to.
No, she probably did think it was hilarious.
She would just be like, "Oh, Jackson," like that. You could just see her saying that. Oh God.
Doesn't take rocket appliances.
Doesn't
take rocket
Well,
appliances.
I wanted today's episode to be about something actually. So we can go into a lot of different directions on this. So I get a lot of athletes who the first thing they say to me within like doing their first sprint triathlon is, "Yeah, I want to see if I can go pro," or I'm like, and that just like it goes in one ear, goes out the other. It doesn't mean anything to me. But I still sound like, wow, these goals sound really good. Let's get excited about it. But I just, at the same time, I'm like, do do you know what that even means? Do you guys see this happening as a trend where guys are just like, yeah, I think, I'd like to see what it takes. And, they haven't really, done much to suffer to the level and the extent. What are your thoughts?
Garrick. The other one watches everybody's YouTube channels.
Yeah, Garrick would know.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. My lights went out here, but my computer's still on, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But
That's crazy.
yeah, I think a lot of guys have this idea of what it take or what like being a pro, or they want to be a pro, but they don't have an understanding of really what it takes and the level at which the racing happens, right? And I say guys because I feel like women are a little more humble, and maybe they have a little better, realistic, maybe a little better perspective, but they're also a little more timid sometimes about like being upfront about those goals. But I've had a conversation with quite a few guys who said like they want to go pro, or I'm like, do you understand the level of the racing? Do you know what it takes? Do you know the commitment and the sacrifice that it takes just to be average? And like, are you willing to do that? And a lot of the times guys will say yes, but then they won't live up to that, and they'll never get there. And then they're just disappointed and they whine about it. Like, and it's like, dude, you have to have respect for that level. And that's something that for me, like I've contemplated the last couple of years. It's like, okay, there's a lot of respect to racing at this level. And am I willing to do what it takes just to be, average mid-pack? And what does that require? Well, if I'm not dedicating my whole life to it, if I'm not moving to the best location to train, that means 2, 3, 4 training camps a year that I'm going to. When I travel, I'm going to go to, I'm going to travel properly. I'm going to go early to races so I can relax, that kind of stuff. I'm going to invest in the equipment.
All the decisions.
And you have to make professional decisions, even if you're not making money off of that, right?
It's like being an influencer. Like you basically like spend a few, maybe 5-10 years just like trying to get some credibility, trying to get good at it. And then all of a sudden, like you just make it and you're making hundreds of millions, and all of a sudden it clicks. It just takes a lot of investment. And I have made a couple, bullet points that we should all focus on too in the notes if you have them open. Number 1, a false sense of inflated self-worth for a few years, because what happens is you get that pro license, you're going to be racing against a field that is a little different than the age group field, a couple more perks, and then you get this a little bit of bravado about like, well, I'm a pro. Yeah, I need to get my bike out early. Or like, where's the pro porta potty? I need to shit in a special unit. So I think like you get like a little bit of self-inflated worth, I think, right away, and you don't even mean to. So there's no hate, but it just happens.
I disagree coming from a female perspective. I don't think the girls get the bravado. I think the girls are the ones that are questioning, did I make the right decision? Should I even be pro? Like, I'm embarrassed to tell some people that like I'm racing professionally, because I'm scared people are going to judge me. Because
that's a great perspective.
Yeah. That's how I felt the first year. Because my first pro race, I got like, it was Texas 70.3 in Galveston, and I was nowhere near ready to like race at that level, but it was like I got my ass handed to me. And I think the thing that crushed me was I think I got beat by like 3 age group athletes, and I was like, well, I don't belong here. Like, this isn't it. Like, this is all, like, I shouldn't race this level. And where I don't think as many guys feel that.
Well, it's different. Like if I was going to go to the NBA and say I'm going to be a pro, and then somehow I make it, and then I'm just getting dunked on left and right, pushed around and slapped around by everybody, even the WNBA players, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm not cut out for this. But I think a lot of the men pro field, like they just stick around for like a long time. And like, I would say like everyone is given a period of time to progress. Absolutely. There's not a developmental pathway, but after like, maybe 5 to 8 years or something like that, if you've made it that long, if you haven't really broken into those areas, like I think you just got to start looking at what's the reason. And not to judge everybody on the reasons, but just what is the reason? I think that's what we got to start looking at here.
Well, there's a few things. You missed one point here, but before even becoming a pro, usually a lot of guys will put "I'm going to be a world champion" in their Instagram bio.
Ooh,
So that's a good step. That's a good.
you got to
step
do
for
that
sure.
one.
It's great to just set yourself up for almost guaranteed disappointment right off the bat.
Oh, geez.
But what happened? Like, I think there's a few things to kind of, like, a few facts we got to kind of lay out here, which is that it takes about 10 years of consistent training at a high volume at close to like the best you could do to see your actual potential, right? In long course, especially. In short course, it can potentially happen a little bit quicker, or at least get close to it a little bit quicker. That doesn't mean you're not going to have any success for 10 years, but it takes 10 to get to your like absolute peak. It takes probably 5 to get to within like a few percent, like maybe 5% of that. So it's not like people can just come in and just start crushing right away. That being said, there are anomalies, right? And I think people tend to want to believe that they're the anomaly, right? Like somebody who's an anomaly. Lionel Sanders is an anomaly. He came into the sport. He had some running background, but not anything crazy. Like a few years across country, I don't think he trained super seriously year round or anything. I think he ran hard in the season and like he was kind of up and down with his focus. And then he came into the sport and within a couple years, like literally a couple years, he was doing great performances. Now there's a bit of a different era, obviously, is part of it, but I think most of it is just he does have like a really incredible ability to like his threshold is amazing. Like just naturally, he got it there very, very quickly. That's not going to happen for most people.
Justin
put
Reality would be
Lucy
the
Charles in that
most
too.
recent for the men, I'd
Yeah.
say. And Lucy
Yeah,
Charles.
Justin Reality, and he was slower than that. Like he had a couple years getting his results, and he's still improving, but he's improved very quickly. But yeah, that Lionel progression is not something you're going to see too often. So the people that you want to compare to are more like, yeah, the people who started in a race age group for a few years, 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then they kind of work their way up, and then they're starting pro, and then they're sort of at the bottom of the pro at the beginning or middle, then they work their way up. Like, yeah, like Justin Reality's progression is like a really good example of like upper level of what you might be able to do or what you could potentially do. That's if you're kind of coming from age group going into long course. Now it looks a lot different if you're starting as a kid and then short course, and then you have development for years and years. And that's like the dream pathway. But the problem is the people who develop later and go into long course after age group, they're fighting against all odds of the kids who had the advantage starting when they were 10, swimming with perfect technique, swimming hard for years and years, developing those engines over 15 years before some people even started the sport. Like Nick didn't even start thinking about it
I
until
was
he was
24,
23.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No background.
And that's when I think of like a Taylor Knibb, and people are like, Taylor Knibb is so good. And she's literally been doing this sport since she was like 11. Like she went and watched her mom in Kona when she was like, I don't know, young. She's been in the sport forever. Paula Finley has been in the sport, I think, for like 20 years, which is
Ellie
crazy.
Salthouse also.
Yeah, these people have just massive backgrounds of so much. So they've done this like for so long. But I think a lot more people are like you and I, Nick. Like I did my first triathlon when I was 24. And I went, I started competing professionally when I was 28. And I think that's a little bit more typical, but I do think it's trending down a little bit more. Like there's people that are starting their first triathlon when they're like 18, 19, 20, and then, going pro at like 22, 23.
Well, it's
So there's
probably
a
even
little
different
downshift.
in Europe because the culture itself just lends itself to supportive parents who might just consider that. Like track coaches don't want you swimming, swim coaches don't want you to run on track. Like there's a lot of, high school doesn't really promote a lot of the endurance aspects of sport because it's just not part of our culture.
Well, and in America and Canada, at least America, the real superstars are the NFL players, the NBA players.
Yeah.
It's the best athletes in the United States are usually playing some of those big ball sports. They're not, on swim team or doing track.
Yeah.
But I think in like Belgium, they're all like riding bikes when they were like out of the womb.
But I
They're
think
just going getting groceries, man.
Yeah, like you said, Lisa, though, the entry of the age of the athletes is getting lower, and we're seeing that because triathlon's getting older, right? Like it's what, a 50, 60-year-old sport, but right now we're really seeing it professionalized, and all these guys, they're saying, oh, the short course guys are coming. The short course guys are coming. Yeah, they're coming. They've been coming, but now these short course guys have started from such a young age. Like they went through the junior ranks into the U23, WTCS, and now into IronMan, where before it was a lot of guys that were just getting their feet wet, jumping into long course. And it's not necessarily that the short course guys are, studs. They've just been doing, well, they are studs, but it's not that all the best athletes are in short course anymore. They're moving up because there's time now. It's been the last 30 years. They're moving through the ranks, and we're seeing people start from a much younger age.
I mean, they're here in men's long course. The short course guys are here. Look at the Texas podium. You had Christian. I don't remember who was second. Jonas was up there. Casper.
No, second was Martin Van Riel, then Casper.
Yeah.
Then
the whole podium is short course. Jonas Schomburg, short course.
Yeah, Brock Hole, who was sixth, is short course.
Brock Hole, guys.
And there's the next up and coming. Well, he's been here, but Canadian Brock Hole, who has been on the WTCS circuit for a few years, and I don't know how old he is, but he's 20, mid-20s maybe, and he's just putting it together in there. He just did a 2:36 run or something, like
unreal.
It's it's really tough to fight those years that you lost, and I think that's the biggest mistake that like so many people make is they're like, well, I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to train harder than everyone, and then I'll be better than everyone. And it's like, well, guess what? If you train 40 hours a week for a year, that does nothing compared to training 25 to 30 hours a week for 20 years.
And my money's on it. You're going to be injured.
Exactly. You'll probably be injured. You'll get burnt out. You'll get like low T, or you'll get
depressed,
stress reactions. You'll get low iron. It's just not sustainable. So if you really love it and you want to do it, be like, all right, I'm going to train at a good level for a long time and see how good I can get. And I've got to be okay with not being that great for at least a few years.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the reason with a lot of that backstory, which was great to have, as to why I wanted to kind of air out some of that dirty laundry that goes along with this sport that we've all gone through in certain ways. Whether we started this as a kid or later in life, we still have been around long enough to go through all of this shit, especially the lifestyle, right? Because that's really all, I think that's what it comes down to, is like everything, every decision, every plan you make throughout the year when you're looking at weddings and family trips, like all of these things are impacted positively or negatively by your attitude and your race schedule and whatever you got going on. So it's a mindset more than anything that takes a long time to adapt. And it's not as easy as just being like taking your pro license and then showing up and getting pissed off when people are circle swimming in the lane and you have to wait 10 minutes. It's like there's a little bit of like I don't know. You just got to really be humble and get out of the head of that. I mean, because I don't know, who cares about being a pro triathlete aside from our little tiny bubble? Does anybody? I don't know. Probably not.
I mean, but like, who really cares? Like in your little bubble, like, yeah, I want all of you to do well. But like, who really cares? Who's like, oh my gosh, like, my parents just want me to see me happy. Steve just wants me to see me happy. There's like so few people that really care. If you think
there's two sides of it. There's the happiness thing, and then there's the money thing. Okay. And that's really what this comes down to at the crux of it is it's expensive to bootstrap yourself through 5 to 10 years of trying to be a pro. I've put myself in and out of debt multiple times, grinding myself through, pulling myself out, making mistakes. And guess what? Don't come in here thinking that sponsors are going to give you jack shit besides maybe a discount code these days. Because I see a lot of these things come through. And I get it. You're coming up, you got a lot of stuff going on, but it's a chicken before the egg situation. And it's like, you can't ask for things that you think you deserve until you prove the things that you are going to be deserving of. So it's really tough. And that's like, we want to provide some support out there also to say, like, if you're doing it and you love it, that's freaking awesome. But don't put yourself too far into the hole on anything, especially if like you're always injured, you're losing your relationships, you're constantly frustrated with what's not happening. Like, there's a mindset that has to come along with this process, and you got to be super patient. I think that's the biggest thing. And Jackson, you were already mentioning that.
Oh yeah, patience is so critical. Or if you don't have it, you'll never make it. But let's yeah. Some of these points are kind of funny.
I think before we get into that, like one tip that I would give someone who's a pro triathlete is befriend Nick Chase, and he will
tell you everything to not do.
And well, not only that, but he's gonna work his butt off for you, and he's gonna get you stuff that you probably don't deserve, but because he loves you and he works hard and he's well respected, you're gonna get a few things. So if you can just befriend Nick Chase, that's my biggest advice as a pro triathlete. I
was the first one. I was the pioneer of that strategy, I think.
You didn't even know it.
Before even Nick knew it was a good strategy. Like, he was still like just kind of doing other people's stuff and not realizing that he's got to just do it all himself. And we were buddies. And then he's like, wait a sec, I should just take over this whole thing. And now here we are. But speaking of support, right quick sidebar, we had a couple RTSers go double win this weekend.
Yes, this is a big deal.
Big deal. Big
White
pro
Lake,
deal.
White Lake half, right? That was what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Why was the bike short?
I think it was like torrential downpouring, but or maybe flooding. I don't know the actual reason. But we had Margarita Ryan. This is her second year professionally racing. She's still so new. She won her first professional race, which is awesome. And Luke Jones, and they date each other, so that's like extra fun too. Won, and I believe Luke also won last year.
He did.
But it's one of the few like independent races that have like a professional field and some prize money that still exists. So that was pretty awesome. Dominika Jemanicki got second, and
also RTS
fourth. And Danae got fourth.
I mean,
that's sweet.
That's effectively why this team kind of is starting to like get some traction, because we're helping pros in some way, shape, or form get their grasp at an early stage. But I guess that's like the whole reason I want to talk about this is because I was on a bike ride today. And I was just thinking about all the shit I've been through as trying to, for myself, and coming to this sport really late and fighting against all the people who were Olympians and doing this shit since forever, and still knowing like I could still hard work a problem. But I don't want people to have to do it that way, unfortunately. I mean, there's a lot of stress, waste, and like I think you've got to give yourself a realistic timeline of, if I'm not podiuming or top 10ing or whatever within a certain period of time, and it's costing me X, Y, and Z, and the debt is mounting, and I'm not able to hustle. I mean, most pros still have to have a part-time job at least. So I think like you've got to really be realistic, because the bottom line is like the men's pro field is pretty crowded, and I don't know if it needs to be that crowded. Just saying. I mean, maybe I need to leave.
I don't think it's that bad. Like when you growing up doing short course, you're racing against like the junior races. We used to have like 100 guys racing. 80
That's where it should be though,
on a start list, right? Like Ironman Texas was what, 80 guys? To me, that's like just cap it at 80 guys. It's not that bad. It's not that big of a deal. The issue comes with the guys that shouldn't be there, right? And shouldn't be racing pro. It's not the sheer number of athletes in the race.
Yeah, it's just if you're ready.
I just say the harsh reality is that the men's pro field will get like so much shit, way more shit than like given to them in the women's pro field, because the men's pro field interferes so much with the front end of the women's pro field, where the tail end of the women's pro field, that doesn't really matter as much because they're not really interfering or getting interfered with.
So you think we need a higher standard? It's a good point. Like maybe there needs to be a bit of a higher standard relative to the front for the men's field, just because of that reason of not wanting to interfere with the front of the women's race, or even like front middle of the women's race if you're one of the slower male pros.
Yeah. And I don't know what the right answer is, but it's just, that's like the harsh reality of how the sport is set up currently, with like the time gaps from between the men and the women, and how they have to be limited based on whatever rules that the race makes up. So that's like, I would like to recognize that, because there are just as many, not just as many in the sheer number, but there are definitely a lot of slow pro women, and there are a lot of slow pro men, and it's fine to be a slow pro. Like I've been there.
Somebody got a bad day or something.
Yeah, or you have a bad day. That always
Everyone's
happens.
been a slow pro at least once.
For sure.
But it's just the harsh reality of like how the tail end of the men's field gets like they get extra shit because it is interfering like they do.
Well, what if it comes down to like a simple strategy of just identifying your swim time? Like if your swim hasn't developed enough to where, and yeah, maybe you've got a great bike and run and that's fine, but until you get that swim time up to some level, whether it's under an hour for men or something, maybe that's a standard. Like, don't enter this Pro Series race.
Or yeah, I think something like that, or just having more of a, and I don't know if I like this idea, but still, and people have brought it up before, but like tiered systems, like say in Ironman racing, like Ironman Pro Series is like top tier, and to be in one of those, you have to be ranked in the top 150 or something, or there's like a wait list and you can roll on, and then there's like a tier 2, and then there's like a tier 3 type of thing, and then it's kind of a developmental pathway. Yeah. But I wouldn't know how the logistics of any of that would work out.
I don't know if we want to turn this into how to solve the solution of women riding into the men's race.
We can't.
And I think we just got to be a little more cutthroat. Like we're saying before, it's like, have a little self-reflection. Do you need to be a pro? Does everyone need to be a pro? Is this good? Are you enjoying this? You know, if in the race, if you get caught by a woman on the bike, I think your race is over. It's just like short course. You get lapped out, you get done. And then maybe provide some self-reflection on if you're ready to be in that race, if you're getting caught on the bike in particular, right? It's totally okay, guys, to not be a pro. And this is something that I self-reflect on a lot. So right now, like Jack and I, we're just talking. So I was obviously talking about my calf injury and Happy Valley. I don't want to go into a race underprepared, because I have more respect for a pro race than, you know, showing up and walking the back half of the run or running a 130 or something like that. And I think we just need more guys to do that. I've had athletes who have maybe received pro cards a little prematurely. Maybe it was for one thing. I'll give a case study, and he's going to know I'm talking about him, but he's going to be okay with it because we've had long discussions about this. But there's one race so he had a goal. He said he wanted to just do one ITU race, right? And he had an opportunity to go to the World University Champs. It was going to be his last chance because that race gets cut off at U25. I was like, you know what? That's such a great opportunity for you to go and do that race. Do it. Let's forget about the results. It doesn't matter. There are a lot of development athletes that do that race, so it's totally fine. It's awesome. He did it, but with that, he got a elite card, and that elite card, there was no one like looked over it. It never went in front of any sort of committee or anything. It was just handed to him, and he was like, you know what? I kind of want to run with this. And we had talked about it, and I was like, okay, if you want to do this, there's a certain level of commitment that you have to put into this to do this right, because you can't just show up and just have your cake and eat it too, right? You don't get to half train and just go to these races. And after one season, he was completely fried and injured and everything. And we kind of had a discussion. We talked to him. I was like, okay, like I said before, this is the bare minimum to do this, to get into the race, to not come out of the water last, to not get lapped out on the bike. And we just came to the conclusion where he was like, I'm not willing to do that. So he's no longer racing pro, and he's in such a better place. He's training so much better. He's enjoying the sport again. He's starting to build momentum back. And it's like, guys, like that is what the sport is about. You're allowed to just train 13, 15 hours a week. You can take it pretty seriously doing that. You don't need to be smashing these 20-hour weeks, making these big financial commitments, buying all the best stuff. You can enjoy the sport. It's not just about racing pro.
That's well said. I think that's it. Enjoyment. Like, it's got to add value to every aspect of your life. It can't be taken from your kids or your family and making you stressed out. Like, that's a good point, Garrick. Well done.
I like
All right. Well, I guess we can move on from that topic. Garrick just finalized it. All right, let's talk about training on vacation. Who wants to talk about that?
This is my question to you guys, because I put this in here before my calf started hurting, before my calf went on me about an hour ago. But Morgan and I are leaving for a quote unquote baby moon to an all-inclusive resort. So I won't have my bike.
Moon.
Yeah.
Is it
Where is it resort?
the Westin in Cozumel?
No, it's the Sandals Resort in St. Vincent. And
Oh,
so
I've always wanted to go there for real.
Like
yeah, it
the
looks,
Virgin Islands?
No, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
What?
For
Virgin Islands is a different country.
yeah, different islands altogether.
Different chain.
Is it in the Caribbean?
Yeah, it's still in the
I don't know what St.
Caribbean.
Vincent is.
Yeah,
Is it the French?
it's it probably was French at one time, but yeah, great resort, awesome. But I was gonna say, if I were to be training for a 70.3, that's in say 6 weeks, like how would you guys train, or what is your opinion on, even as a coach to athletes at different levels, what is your opinion on training on vacation? What's acceptable? How much should you do? How do you work around not having a bike?
Wait, this is the only one that matters. How much leash is your spouse giving you? Start there.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Obviously, yeah, that's a good question. Start there. I mean,
Well, I think if you have races coming up versus if it's off season is very different. But assuming a situation like yours, where you'd have a race in like 4 or 5 weeks, I think even if like there's not much leash, you should be able to do like an hour to an hour and a half of one workout per day, and just like do a solid, most days just do like one hard solid workout with like some good aerobic and some intervals. That'll maintain and sustain your threshold. It's not going to be a big base week or anything, but it's going to be pretty damn decent. And if you have a little more leash and you could do like 2 things a day that are about an hour each, that would even be super ideal. And then you pretty much don't have to lose too much, but you can still enjoy the vacation. You can do something in the morning, or just crank them out in the morning, get up early, get it done, and then have a nice vacation after that. That's kind of what I would lean towards. But I never would suggest like, oh yeah, you're on vacation, do like just as much training because you don't have to work now. Like, it's just, it never is good for anybody. Like, unless you're a low volume athlete and you're kind of, not taking it mega seriously, then you might be able to sustain your same volume.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you can make it so the weeks leading up to that were like bigger weeks, and then use that vacation week sort of as like a down week too. So like it was kind of a planned down week. That would be ideal, but also just make it a run block.
Yeah.
And also do high intensity stuff. Like anytime I've been on any of these trips where I've had to be accountable after like 9 a.m. or something, because let's face it, if you can get up early and not disturb everybody and grind coffee in the bathroom, wrap the grinder in a towel, and do everything real quiet, not to wake everybody, which is what I had to do for years in my previous marriage, which was delightful. What you do is you get it done real early, and then you meet everybody for brunch, and then you're immediately eating right when you've done an hour and a half or 2 hour session, and then you can relax the rest of the day. I think we all have a checkbox, and that box is bigger or smaller based off of whoever you are and how psycho you are. And let's admit, like, triathletes are pretty psycho, and it's okay. It's a good psycho. So you just got to figure out how big that checkbox need to be. And that's why you got a coach, right? Coaches, that's what we're here for. Like, hey, make you feel good about everything you're about to do. That's what we're here for.
And the spin bikes, by the way, I know they're not great, but like, you're not going to sit and do a 3-hour based spin bike, but do an hour workout with some VO2 or like threshold reps. And that's a great workout. And it doesn't have to be the exact same bike position. Just make it comfortable and, get through it. Crank it.
So if you bring mountain bike cleats, usually on the spin bikes, you can clip in.
Ooh. Yeah.
So that's a pro tip.
Nice.
And don't stop swimming during, like, if that's the one thing you can figure out, go to swimmersguide.com. You should never be not able to find a pool, because being without a pool for like 7 to 10 days, that's tough to come back. I feel like 10 days out of the pool is like a month out of the pool.
This is true. This is 100% true. But you don't need that much either. Like, if you're going to the ocean, like 30-minute swim, every other day is going to be perfect.
Vacation is the best.
Yeah.
Because you can you just swim as much as you want.
You can show off. And then everyone's like, who's that guy out there been swimming this whole time? Then you walk out of the beach and everyone's like, oh, wow. And then your wife, you give her a hug and everyone's like, oh, I envy them. They get after it.
Yeah, make sure you do it in the middle of the day when there's the most amount of people at the beach so they can all watch you.
Watch you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, can we talk about something really fast that is just triggering me? If you are in a prominent vacation area and there's a lot of foot traffic on, between noon and 4 p.m. because people are shopping or whatever, don't do your fucking run at that same time at the mall or whatever. Nobody gives a shit that you're out running. Just go find a path that's away from everybody, because there's nothing more irritating when I'm like just walking around and there's like someone all kitted up with like a camelback and everything. They're just trying to weave their way through, barely running at all because there's so much foot traffic. Get out of the public areas. No one cares, man. Just go run on your own on a treadmill.
And if you're a cyclist,
And
get
Nick-
out of the
Nick would
road.
totally do that.
Get out of there. Guys, I got steamrolled today. Like,
What's that mean?
like one of those big ass trucks,
Coal rolled,
like they
coal
are
rolled?
coal rolled.
Oh, steamroll's a sexual act. I don't know if that's... Coal roll, I get.
Cleveland steamer.
Steamroll. I don't, we gotta beep that out, I guess.
We should just beep out the part where she's like, guys, I got blank today, and then see what people think it was.
Okay, so coal roll, just for existing.
I got coal rolled, and I was going like in the middle of the intervals up the canyon that I ride in like every day of my life, and I so
Left-hand
wanted
canyon.
no, because I'm in Fort Collins now. I
Oh,
got
right.
banished from Boulder, but Wrist Canyon, and I was doing hard intervals like VO2 hard, pushing in the 300s, guys, and I just got like, coal rolled, and I wanted to flip the guy off, but then I was like, we're kind of going kind of slow, and like maybe he's gonna have a gun and he was gonna shoot me. So I didn't. I just let him coal
I
roll
flip people
all
off
over
if they don't
me.
give me 3 feet. I'm just like, you just
I know.
could have
Yeah.
winged me.
I have way more road rage on my bike than I do in my car. Like on my
Same.
bike, I'm like, I wish bad things upon people who do bad things.
I wish I could push a button and transform my bike like all of a sudden into like a mallet and just like Thor's hammer somebody's vehicle. Like go gadget hammer and just fuck somebody's door up. You know the best thing to do, honestly, the most passive aggressive thing that you could do is not going to hurt anybody. No, I'm not saying violence is the way here just so you can't quote me. But letting the air out of somebody's tire if you catch up to them and they've parked and left their vehicle, totally fine. There's no crime in that. It's just air. They didn't own
That would
that
be
air.
awesome if there was like a device where if a car passed to within 3 feet of you, like when you had it activated, like when you're actually moving on a road, it like sensed it and then it like shot a paintball at their car to just like make them have something annoying that would take forever to get off or whatever without hurting anybody, and they probably wouldn't even notice.
Or
I
if like it was like Mario Kart and like you hit like not like a speed up patch, but like they get like frozen, they hit like a banana and they have to get like they slip around a little bit. And they can't do anything. They can't go. So it's like makes
Disabled.
them they get disabled for a little bit. I don't know.
I think also we can go back to something I've been saying for years, that everybody should have the option to spontaneously combust one human in their entire lifetime. One, you can do it once. All of a sudden, you're just like, you dial up a number and you're like, yep, this person. And then they're gone.
But that, you can't say.
We would never, ever, ever have another politician in this world ever again.
You wouldn't have any rapists. You wouldn't have any people who are doing all kinds of
We
shit.
wouldn't have any famous people.
Well, but you guys, no, now we're getting down like a dark path. But you know, The Purge, the movies, The Purge.
Oh, those are so
Don't do
messed
it.
up.
We're
Don't go down
like,
that path.
oh, yeah, but like, what if society was like that? There was no crime except on one day you can like.
No. We're not
That's
doing
why-
that. Okay,
That
I have
would
a better
be
idea.
bad.
Let's
That's
do
why
this
movies
thing.
exist, to show you what fucked up stuff could happen that you don't want to do. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jackson.
dystopian societies.
Okay, so off of that, when Lisa was like, I was doing my VO2 intervals, let's all go through and just say what our favorite bike workout of the last week was, the last few days, and how great it was. And we'll finish on a training note, and then we'll go into
Yeah.
Pass or Smash.
My
Okay,
favorite-
so what was your VO2 workout?
But guys, PSA, we don't want anyone to die, and we don't want to be mean to anyone, and we want everyone to be kind and be kinder to cyclists.
Just forgive people if they make a mistake. That's what you're supposed to do. So
Yeah, spread love. And then if you're mad, the best thing you can do is give someone a hug. Swear.
Or wave. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smile. Okay, my
Or
VO2 workout.
coal roll your buddies when you're driving on your way to the group ride.
Yeah, you can do it to your buddies.
My VO2, so I've been in like a VO2 block. I think this is like week 5, and we're gonna do a couple more weeks. And I'm low key was dying earlier, but now I feel like I've gotten stronger. So
Now you're thriving.
my workout today, we had a couple of openers, minute openers, some 2-minute builds, and then the main set was 3 by 2 minutes and 3 by 3 minutes at VO2. So with 4 minutes easy between, so lots of rest. Because I've tried doing it with like equal rest before, and I think at altitude it just crushes me.
I think you need double rest at altitude, for freaking sakes.
Yeah, no, I did. So like 4 minutes was like very appropriate. And yeah, so the first like 3 2-minuters, I was in like the 2 or 3:20s, 3:30s. And then for my 3-minuters, I did like 3:20 for the first one, and then I like faded a lot. The last 2 hurt. So I was in like the 3 teens for those ones. But it was good. I was happy.
That is not a lot.
Well, like faded 10, 15 watts.
That's not a fade. That's just like you got tired, and that's normal.
Yeah, but it was
good.
good. It hurts. That stuff hurts. Yeah.
You ever do a VO2 workout so hard that your nose is bleeding?
No.
No.
Oh, must just be me.
Maybe it's just the dry
I think
air.
it's because you're in the desert and you have a
Man.
deviated septum.
Yeah.
Hey, she's been all right. No big deal.
What did what bike workouts did you guys do today?
I don't know. Just rode, and then it hurt, and then I got flat, and I'm good. So
We
that's
all
that
have the
workout.
same. We all have the same coach, but we pick different ones. Garrick, did you have the 5-minuters?
I did not. I've got 3-minuters on Tuesday. Today I did 5 times 25 minutes steady. But last
5
week,
times 25 minutes?
yeah, steady. Just
That's a lot. of
I would rather
25
die.
minutes.
nice and
Is
steady.
that like zone 2?
75%. Yeah, it's like
That's
upper
only-
zone 2.
That's not
But-
that much time, right?
No,
that's like 2 hours basically.
2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah, I did it
Okay.
the most entertaining way possible on the trainer watching YouTube. But
Can we just say that zone 1 is where you want to be? That's it. Let's get rid of the zone 2 talk. Zone 1, baby.
He was like at top of. He was probably Ironman pace, right? Kind of thing.
yeah, that's basically Ironman pace. I did it
Is
maybe a
that
little
what-
lower than Ironman pace.
You should be
What?
higher Ironman then.
What is Ironman pace? Like, what's Ironman pace in comparison to your 70.3?
It's like the pace you could sustain for an Ironman.
It's like if you went 146 miles, that.
I think the theory of it is it's about 75% FTP, right?
Yeah.
Theory.
Up near 80 if you're, depending on how fit
If
you
you're
are.
ranking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a pro athlete and you're Norwegian,
It'd be
you don't
80.
have anything. It's only hard or not quite as hard.
Okay. Well, what about you, Nick? We did the same one, the 5-minuters, 10 5-minuters. How was that?
10 5-minuters, and I did it outside because it was 4 hours, and I just couldn't bring myself. And the weather's been so good, so yeah, I just picked like that Vail loop where it's long, gradual uphill over time, and it was great. I mean, power wasn't able to get as high, but I actually remember I mentioned my pedal style kind of changed, and I think like I'm forcing it to get back to where it was, to where I can hold like 370s again. But it's just like tell you what, it's those stupid shorter cranks that have made it harder for me to like get right on the power right over top of the pedal stroke. So I'm just still figuring out, like, I haven't been maintaining that inertia over the top of the pedal. And also I was pedaling like an age grouper, I think, with just only like mainly mashing on the power side. I wasn't pedaling in really good ovals because it was just tiring. So I've had to fix that shit.
So were you pointing the toes too much and you weren't giving her with the heel enough?
I was kind of getting more of that toe heavy. And I think over time, like I don't know why I went to that pedaling style, but now I've been forcing that glute medius and, to really engage quickly and then follow through all the way. And it's definitely increased. I mean, if you just do it on a trainer, test yourself. If you change your pedaling style to smooth out and then get those ovals instead of circles, and that way that back heel is helping the push over the toe, and then you're dropping your heel faster, you'll get 10 to 15 watts immediately. Yeah, you'll feel it, but if you can adapt to that, that's power.
So did you change your seat or position at all to do that, or did you just change it with mental?
Its position's been the same. I think most everybody too is kind of creeping a little bit more forward, so you can get that mid pedal or that mid cleat on the middle of your foot, and then you're not toeing down as much and dragging your calf. So it's just more of that glute power. So just probably a little bit more forward than I used to be on the bottom bracket.
Nice.
So that's that.
And then did you do the 50-minute, or did you have a tempo after, or was that at the end of the
workout? I was riding like 270s to 290s steady for like 30 to 45 minutes after that damn stupid flat.
All right, nice job.
And it sounds like you were riding 400 watts. Whatever, just tell us how big the numbers were.
No, it wasn't. I did the trainer though, and I had the same workout as Nick. No, it was good. I went a little over. I was like 2% over threshold, so I was like low 370s on the 5-minuters with 3 minutes rest, and then I did the 50-minute up the Alp. I did 295, which I pushed. I started at 285 and just gradually increased a little bit, and then I did another 30-minute steady because I was feeling good, and I put it up to 4.5 hours. So one of my longer rides, and still not running much. Obviously, like none of my runs are stressful. They're just getting my body back into it, so I can definitely push the bike a little bit more right now, and then that'll dial back as the run comes back up. And I'm hoping I can just like keep the fitness I got from the bike, and can just sort of ride it into. I don't know about Happy Valley. Like Garrick maybe isn't going anymore, or are you gonna go and not race?
If you're going, I was thinking about still going. But obviously we can make that decision 2 weeks before the race when registration closes.
Yeah, I'll decide. We'll see. I'm just right now focused on getting back to run fitness, and if I maybe only end up doing Tremblant, but I might do both because it does look like a great course and opportunity for me. So it's still, I'll call it a 50-50.
50-50 chance.
50-50.
But guys, I have some big news.
Pregnant.
Yay.
Yes.
No. I'm a big girl now, and I put a 54 front chain ring on my bike.
Congratulations.
Wow. That could be pretty big.
Big girl for big girl watts now. So
yeah,
we're gonna go
for sure
faster. I should probably put a 56 on for some races.
Yes,
but I can't. I don't know how. I have to pay the bike shop $150 every time for them to like swap these things back and forth. Then you got to get a new chain.
You've got to get better with your relationships, for crying out loud.
No.
You shouldn't have to pay for anything.
Learn how to do it.
They don't like they don't like triathletes.
Tell your husband to learn how to do it.
It is easy.
I don't. But so I just I'm a 54 girl now. It's a big deal.
I'm not trying to at all one up, but this just happened today too. I did get a 60 tooth one by, and I don't know what I'm gonna even do with it. I might just look at it because a 58 to a 60 is a big deal. And
You
it's
should just
huge.
put the 60 on there, just leading into the race. Be like, yeah, I got a 60 on there, and then switch it to the 58 right before.
Yeah,
the
I
race.
might do that. I don't think I can handle a 60 yet, especially in the climbs around here. But Lisa, you're gonna feel it on those climbs.
I did switch my cassette though to an 1134 because that's what Mark told me to do. He's my bike mechanic. When I just text him what I'm supposed to get, and he tells me.
Yeah. Well, you guys are on Shimano, so you might as well just keep talking to each other because no one likes Shimano.
I love having the wired shifters. It gives
Ew.
me peace of mind. My mountain bike is SRAM, and so
Only
is
wires
my
I want are
gravel
my
bike.
headphones. All right.
All right, guys, should we do some pass or smash?
Well, let's move on to this segment I wanted to do on.
Oh, the shoes.
Oh yeah, you have a
No, not the shoes.
your crush.
I figure if we eventually glaze the lovely CEO of IronMan, Scott Drew, if we can give him enough love and attention, he may listen to us one day. And I've got a spiel to read out if we don't mind giving me the floor for a second. So I want to say cheers to you, Scott Drew, the architect of suffering at IronMan. Cheers to you, Scott, the only guy who wakes up and thinks, how can we make this more expensive, but call it an enhanced athlete experience? And somehow we all nod like, yeah, makes sense. This guy, take my credit card, Scott. 3 times is a charm. Cheers to the branding, not a lifestyle, not a sport, a full-blown identity crisis. You didn't build a race series. You built a personality where grown adults introduce themselves like, hi, I'm Dave, Ironman finisher. And we're like, Dave, we just asked what you do for work. Cheers to race pricing strategy, where signing up feels less like entering a race and more like financing a mid-sized vehicle. Flexible payment plans? Yeah, because nothing screams endurance like paying off your suffering in installments. Cheers to the merch machine, because nothing hits quite like finishing 140.6 miles immediately thinking, you know what I need? A $120 Lululemon hoodie to prove this trauma was worth it. And yes, we'll take 2. My kids want one also. And finally, cheers to the culture you've perfected, where people voluntarily wake up at 3:45 a.m., eat cold oatmeal in silence, hate themselves, stand half naked in a body glide line next to strangers, shit next to thousands of strangers too, and call it living their best life. That's just not leadership, Scott. That's borderline psychological warfare with a finish line arch. Cheers to you, Scott. Love you, buddy.
I thought we were supposed to try to get him on the podcast, not.
You got to scare him away from the podcast.
No,
and
all
did
press is good press.
Chat GPT wrote that.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's good.
right.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Pretty
All right,
good.
we'll keep going. Next time we'll make it happier.
Yeah. Have Chat GPT put a more positive spin to it
Well,
next time.
I told it to make it more savage like 3 times. I was like, this is
This
not
is
enough.
a 3 times savage.
All right, Garrick, hit the pass or smash song. I know you've been waiting.
Pass or smash, pass or smash. Tell me now, don't make it last. Pass or smash, pass or smash. This moment's gone, so make it fast.
Thanks, Johnny Cash.
All right, I've been waiting 3 weeks to hit that button.
Thanks, bud.
All right, pass or smash. This is a segment where we give you a topic, you pass it or smash it. You provide as much context as you are willing to, and it could be triathlon, it could not be triathlon related. So with that, topic number 1, K-trucks.
What
I've
is
never
that?
heard
That
of that.
is.
So
Those
pass.
are those little Japanese trucks that you can get now
Smash.
with the flat front ends. Smash.
You can get
100%.
them
I
for
want-
like eight grand.
Yeah, I want an excuse. I feel like every man just wants an excuse to buy one of these. And I was like, man, if we bought like a big enough property, I could jack one up and just use it instead of like one of those, what are they called? Not the Raptors,
they
but
called?
the like basically like an ATV.
Side by
so
sides?
funny. Yeah.
They're just mini trucks.
Mini trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're so
Rapid
cool.
Rapid Cycling has them.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
I don't know.
Those Smash.
I don't know what I would use it for. Is it all-wheel drive?
If it's not,
Probably not.
something to do with riding a bicycle outside, then Lisa's probably never heard of it.
I would just use it to get the mail, and it would be awesome.
And we would still buy it.
They would
I'll sell these scooters I got. I'll get like $300 for those, and then I'll use the truck instead.
As a coach, it would be the perfect sag vehicle if you're coaching, because you just throw a bunch of shit in the back, and like you're driving, and it gets like 46 miles to the gallon. You just like cruising.
Usually a 3-cylinder.
Yeah.
They're restricted 55 to 65 miles per hour typically.
I don't bike that fast, so.
Yeah. Me
Okay.
either.
Next, who wrote this? I'm reading it though because I like it. Tucking in your shirt while running.
Smash.
Depends. If it's tights, I think yes. If it's shorts, I'm a no on that one.
Always be tucking.
Smash.
Always be
especially
tucking.
for a race.
Yeah, smash.
Yeah.
Tuck it in, baby.
Morgan hates it when
Yeah.
I do it. She thinks it looks bad, but I'm like, I'd rather have my shirt tucked in than my belly hanging out.
Plus, it really makes your butt look bigger. I like it.
I'm more of like I just usually tuck the front in. Like a half tuck
Yeah.
in the front.
That's a girl move for sure.
Yeah, like the Wayne Gretzky tuck, just on the one side.
All right. Having one leg only in a tight.
That
Like
sounds
you're in the
terrible.
process of putting
No,
both.
like you just
you're-
left the
you
house.
you only
with
have one leg.
one
Have you
leg.
seen this happen?
It depends.
I've
what
seen
we're
it
doing.
happen. I've seen people at the gym do this, like, or play basketball. I don't know. I've seen just people have one leg in a tight.
Oh, not like pants.
I was
Like
what are
one
we-
like knee sleeves.
What are we doing with one
Like
leg of our pants on? Because that would affect my
That's-
decision.
No, you're wearing shorts. Like you're wearing shorts and you have a single tight
Yeah,
on your leg.
I know what you're saying. Pass. I've
Like
never done
basketball
that.
players
Yeah.
do
I
that.
would heavily pass on that. I don't understand it. Someone needs to educate me. I'm ignorant.
Pass.
I'll pass.
This is a good one. Leaving the house for 5 hours of riding with just one bottle. I'm going to smash that one right now.
Oh my god, that gives me anxiety. Pass it.
You're guaranteeing a lot of fun stops along the way. Okay, folks? It's going to be great.
That's a great way to turn a 5-hour ride into like an 8-hour outing.
Yeah. So you guys are going to
So
smash.
Pass.
Flip turns.
Smash.
Smash.
Smash. Yeah.
I guess smash. They're more like flip twists for me because my technique sucks.
Mine is bad too, but I'm a pass on the streamline.
You're not a
No,
good streamliner.
No, I just if my hands touch, it's a win.
Okay, we can work on that. This one is for the men sitting down to pee. I'm going to smash that.
I pass that. I don't find it more efficient. Even in the dark, I'll just take my chances.
Do you
I'm
clean
in the
toilets?
dark, yes. In the non-dark, usually probably not.
Who cleans the toilets in your houses?
My
50-50.
wife.
Okay. Ask her what she would prefer.
Hey, in the dark, I hit it over 90% of the time.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think I've asked Steve about this recently. Maybe I shouldn't be sharing this. But I was like, he's like, it's nice to relax sometimes.
That's nice. It's just
Yeah,
clean.
you don't have to
But
think about aiming.
I asked if he had to hold it down or if he
Yeah, you
had
got to
like,
give it the tuck.
it just dangles. And I wondered if the things ever touch the water.
I mean,
It's pretty terrible if that ever happens, but
That-
it has happened and it's not a good time.
that's a whole subject. All right, moving on. I think we're all going to I'm going to say that this one is something that you may or may not have done, but you've probably thought about it. Checking if they have an OnlyFans link in their bio.
In
You
their
know you
I'm
bio?
going to pass this. I've never even thought about this.
I check
You haven't?
Nick's
Man.
bio every day for it.
Sometimes I'll be guilty of this one to say I reluctantly smash it because sometimes somebody will show up in my feed and I'm like, this chick isn't real. And so I'll check the link in the bio and I'm like, oh, you're just trying to promote your tits.
Yeah,
I won't
sometimes
click
you're
the link,
questioning
'cause
what the
that just-
content is about. So this is a little bit of a side tangent, but did you ever notice how Sierra Mist went from Sierra Mist to
Starry.
Starry?
Yes,
I
of
learned
course.
about this.
Yeah,
It's a
it's-
girl's name.
It's because of an OnlyFans creator. They let the name rights expire. The rights to the name expire, and so she trademarked it, and so they had to change Sierra Mist to Starry.
I think Starry actually like tastes better, even though
But
it's
she's a genius.
if it's the same stuff, it just tastes better as Starry.
I think it's delicious. It's one of my favorite pops.
Yeah. Who put VO2 workouts? That's like obviously a smash.
Pass. No,
I
Smash.
put that in.
Garrick's passing.
No, smash. Obviously, you have to do them. You got to get some
smash
good.
that.
No, but like,
sessions in.
do you like them?
True
love to
VO2? Is it true VO2? No.
What's true VO2?
Yeah.
Well,
What's true?
Is that where you like
some
don't
people-
take enough rest?
Is that
like,
deep VO2?
Yeah, like some people do like 1 minuters and they call it VO2, but they're not actually doing VO2 unless the rest is short enough. But if you're doing like 4 or
Yeah.
5 minuters, like that's real VO2, and that sucks.
But I've only done 2 or 3 minuters. Does that mean I'm not doing real VO2?
no, that
No,
is
yeah.
3
usually-
minuters is.
Yeah,
If you're not getting that blood lactate over like 8, it's tough to say it's VO2.
8.
It
Come
feels like a 15.
15? What? I don't know about that. I think I saw maybe a 10 once, and I was near death. All right, we don't have to do grind my gears. What's the? You guys done?
we are.
No,
at
I do have a
105.
grind my gear though.
Okay, I want to hear it. Let's go.
Let's hear it. What grinds your
Because-
gears, Lisa?
I hate blacked out windows in cars, like fully tinted. The driver's side,
Yeah,
like
no accountability.
You're right.
well, it's because when I'm riding my bike and I'm trying to make eye contact with someone to see if the car like sees me, and they just don't, like, I'm like looking at them. Someone was trying to be nice to me the other day with blacked out, tinted out windows to like let me go. And I'm like, I'm not going to go because I don't know if you're waving me on or if you're like, I don't know. So you go. And I was so mad about it. So like, if you're gonna in the market for buying a car, don't get the blacked out, tinted out windows.
The best advice I can give you in that circumstance, Lisa, if you can't tell, is hyper focus on the front wheel, because you will notice that front wheel move fast and you'll have a reaction to be able to stop yourself from either hitting them or you can turn. But like, watch the front wheels. That's what I focus on when I can't tell.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But don't get blacked out, tinted out windows in the driver's and passenger side. You can do it in the back.
Yeah, I tinted out the windows in my old truck, and at night I'd have to like put the windows down to see what I'm driving when I'm like in my neighborhood and stuff. So I was like, maybe I'll hold off on tinting these for a bit.
That's a good one. No tinted in the windows. All right. Good points. Everyone happy?
We are happy.
Yeah.
Let's end this thing.
Till next time, guys. Peace.
Oh.
I got ish to do. Flying through the sky in my parachute. Dancing on the couch like I'm Tommy Cruise on a one-man mission trying to see it through.